July 8, 1997 saw the Major League All-Star Game being played in Cleveland, Ohio. This is WJW Channel 8's local coverage, interviewing many of the participants and the hoopla going around Cleveland, Ohio on that great date. 26 years ago today. Should have posted this last year.
You're watching the exclusive home of the All-Star Game, Fox 8.
Boy, oh boy, what a night for baseball, and what a great night for our city of Cleveland. You are looking down at Jacobs Field live from the Goodyear Blimp.
That's right, we're getting ready for the 68th Major League All-Star Game. It is Cleveland's 5th time in the Baseball All-Star Spotlight, and from every indication, this should be the brightest. Hello everyone, I'm Stephanie Schaefer. Thanks for joining us. It is the Baseball Pregame All-Star right here on Fox 8.
And I am excited. I'm Wayne Dawson. Boy, we have a show planned for you tonight. We have a full hour of live interviews and features. You name it, we have it. But before we do anything else, let's go around the horn, as they say, to see what is coming up.
That's right. Let's start right now with Fox Sports anchor Mark Schrader, who's down on first base. How you doing, Mark?
And I'm Mark Schrader on the first base side, on the first base dugout. I will be covering the National League. We'll have all the stars out here. We'll talk about all the men and what they think they're going to be able to do. The National League has some very good hitters, but the American League has the power. Let's go over to the first base side, or the third base side, with John Tellage, and he has all the American League stars.
All right, thanks very much, Mark. That is the situation as we're down here by the third base dugout. We'll talk to those AL stars, maybe some of the guys that will try to emulate the power of Mark McGwire, who hit the scoreboard twice in batting practice earlier today. We'll talk to the AL stars, but first, let's send it outside to Lou Maglio. JT, you're inside the ballpark with the sweet smell of baseball. I am outside near a sidewalk sucking up exhaust fumes. Go figure, my luck. But actually, we're having a great time out here talking with baseball fans from all over the country here in Cleveland to witness this historic event for the city of Cleveland, the first ever baseball all-star game inside Jacobs Field. The voice of the fan coming up from here shortly. But if you don't have a ticket to get inside Jacobs Field, we have another great idea for you. It is called the Fox 8 Field of Dreams, and Fox 8 news reporter Kathy Cronenberger, who, by the way, is a diamond in her own right, is standing by live right now to tell us all about it. Kathy, set the
I'm Kathy Cronenberger. I'm here at the Fox 8 Field of Dreams on the west bank of the Flats, and check out this giant, humongous, wow, is this a big screen or what? We're going to tell you why. If you don't have tickets to the game, you should be heading down here right now. The only better seat is in the ballpark where Bill Martin is.
That's right, Kathy. We're live with the crowd. We'll be talking with these great fans coming up, and also maybe a very special surprise fan for you. We'll talk to them and a lot more still ahead.
Oh, Bill, come on, tell us now what it is.
You know he's not going to tell us. That's just the way he is.
I know, Yeah. All right, well, listen, don't go away because we have lots more special treats and special guests lined up, too.
You know, a big part of this all-star event is a special tribute to Larry Doby, who happened to be the first African-American to play in Major League Baseball. He played for the Cleveland Indians.
He certainly did, and also we'll look at this year's Indians, who are members of the All-Star team, and get some special insights when Omar Vizquel joins us.
Plus, we'll be joined by Fox Sports' Steve Lyons. He'll stop by, and he's going to tell us exactly what it takes to cover something of this magnitude, the Midsummer All-Star Classic.
That's right.
Of course, everyone knows that you do not make the All-Star team as a position player unless you are voted in by the fans.
That's right. And let's take a look now who the fans did vote in with the National and the American League rosters. And who better than our own All-Stars than John Tellage and Mark Schrader to join us live from down there, the best seats in the house.
That's right.
How you doing, guys?
We're doing real well.
Good. All right, let's start with the National League and Mark Schrader.
Well, Stephanie, it's going to be a great lineup for the National League. A couple hitters flirting with 400 on the season. Now, that's nothing to mess with if you're looking at a great team in the National League. As a matter of fact, Randy Johnson's going to be a tough guy to hit. But let's take a look at the stars that will be shining for the National League in the starting lineup. Let's start with the outfield of the National League. The Padres hitting machine, Tony Gwynn. Braves center fielder Kenny Lofton was voted in as a starter, but an injury will keep him out of the game. Rockies' Larry Walker is hitting .398. He's been a Triple Crown threat this season. San Diego third baseman Ken Caminiti. He's the National League MVP from last season. Red shortstop Barry Larkin is steady and a fan favorite at shortstop. Astros second baseman Craig Biggio teams up with Larkin for a dream double play combo. Jeff Bagwell of the Astros can do it all. He hits, and he hits with power. He also plays a great first base. The National League's top vote getter, Mike Piazza from the Dodgers, defends his All-Star MVP award tonight. And Jeff Blauser will be filling in for the injured Barry Larkin at shortstop. That's not too shabby either. But the man on the hill for the National League, nobody touches this guy. Four-time Cy Young Award winner Greg Maddux. He's 11-3 right now with the Atlanta Braves. Maddux has always been a great starter. He's only expected to go about 2 innings for Bobby Cox. Cox doesn't want to wear out his guys. He also has Glavine in the pen who could come in next if he wants to, his teammate from the Braves. So the National League looks pretty strong, John Telich, but I know you're going to have some guys that are going to be able to contend with this team. Let's go over to you over at first base.
All right, thanks very much. As we set the situation up for you in the American League, as you mentioned, Mark, it is a baseball team with a lot of power, and the scoreboard is not safe here at Jacobs Field. In fact, let's go through the guys who had the most votes and were voted in as the starters for the junior circuit, the American League.
The man who hopes to get things going for the American League All-Stars, it's Brady Anderson of the Baltimore Orioles. David Justice voted in the starting lineup. He'll give way. Paul O'Neill will get the nod, he of the New York Yankees. Ken Griffey Jr., the guy everybody wants to see, and the man that is chasing Roger Maris's 61 home runs. Cal Ripken, the MVP in '92, and his 15th All-Star game this year. And the youngster from the Seattle Mariners, Alex Rodriguez, gets the nod at shortstop. At second base, he's been in 7 previous All-Star games, Robbie Alomar of Baltimore. Tino Martinez getting a great voting from the fans. He will be the man at first base. He's had an outstanding first half of the year. Ivan Rodriguez, they call him Pudge. He is the wall. You can't get past him. He's an All-Star once again for the AL. And Edgar Martinez, born to hit of the Seattle Mariners, he's the designated hitter for the American League team.
And, of course, Joe Torre wasted very little time yesterday in naming his starting pitcher. It is indeed the big unit of the Seattle Mariners. He will get the starting nod and pitch a couple of innings for your American League. And, of course, Randy Johnson brings all that firepower to the plate when he is doing his job in terms of taking a man who's 6 feet 10 inches tall and then just firing away at you. He's very difficult to stop. The stats so far this year for him, he's 12-2, and the man has a 2.20 ERA, and even in slow motion, gang, it's very difficult to hit the big unit, but thus the National League Stars are still looking forward to hitting against Randy Johnson. So that sums it up as far as the American League is concerned. We send it upstairs to Wayne and Stephanie.
Got a question for you, JT. First of all, do you think Albert Bell will play tonight? And if so, when do you think he may get in the lineup?
I'm wondering what kind of a reception he will get. He's been very low-key here in this American League ballpark, the ballpark that he basically made famous. But nonetheless, I think he's going to want to low-key it and play as very little as possible, not knowing what type of reaction he will have. They haven't done anything special security-wise in the manner that they did for the several games after his opener here with the White Sox against the Indians. So we'll keep tabs on the Bell watch tonight.
That's right. We can't wait to see what happens.
It's going to be interesting.
We'll see you in a little bit, JT. Thanks. You know, we here at Fox 8 are just so thrilled that Fox is broadcasting the very first All-Star game to be played here at Jacobs Field.
Yeah.
And we know they're going to do a spectacular job because they've got all the effects and all that cool stuff. And we're about to be joined by one reason why it's going to be so good.
Hey, Fox always does a good job. And like you said, one reason why is a man by the name of Steve Lyons. He is with Fox Sports, and he joins us now from down on the field. Steve, how you doing?
I'm doing great. How are you guys doing, Wayne and Steph?
Ah, we're wonderful.
Hey, we're having a ball up here. Look around Jacobs Field. I know you've seen the place. Isn't this a wonderful facility, a great place to play baseball?
But, you know, I played 9 years in the major leagues, mostly in the American League. I came to Cleveland a lot during that period of time, and this city has done nothing but get better and better in that time. Truly a major league city with this facility, the arena here for basketball, Rock and Roll Hall of Fame. This place has come a long way. Certainly doesn't deserve the old reputation of Cleveland. I think a lot of people love coming here now.
That's right. This is the place to be. Now, Steve, we have seen the people from Fox bring in every piece of equipment you can imagine. But Wayne and I really want to know about that helmet cam. Can you give us some insight into that?
Yeah, this is a new innovation that's going to be broken out in tonight's ball game. The catcher's actually going to have a camera that's on his face mask above, so you can see what the pitch looks like. I mean, it's going to be a scary view, especially when Randy Johnson is out there pitching. You'll be able to see how hard the pitch is coming in and just how quick the hitter actually has to react in order to hit a ball. And I think for all those beer league softball guys out there that think it's so easy, they're going to understand how tough it is now when you see that view.
That's right. Well, fans could go down to FanFest and see just how really hard it is, too.
That's for
now,
sure.
Steve, you've played with some All-Stars in Chicago and Boston, eh?
Yeah, I played with a few All-Stars. I played with Carlton Fisk and those guys, Frank Thomas. I mean, these are some outstanding players. You know, it's amazing. This is the first All-Star game I've ever gotten to come to, and I've played for 10 years. So it's kind of a sad thing about my career, but hey, better late than never.
All right. Well,
Steve.
we're so happy to have you here.
Thanks a lot for joining us. We'll talk to you later. Of course, we'll see Steve Lyons 8 o'clock tonight when Fox takes over and they begin their official coverage of All-Star 68th annual All-Star game coming from Jacobs Field. Thank you, Steve.
All right.
Okay, now there was some news about a little possible tornado thunderstorm kind of moving in the area, so we're going to check with the All-Star himself, our very own Dick Godard, and he's down here on the field. How you doing, Dick?
Hi there, gang. Well, we're going to take a look at radar. Skies are glowering now out of the northwest. We're under a tornado watch, and again, no guarantee a tornado would touch down, but the weather conditions are very unstable, and you can see now just how close the showers are. Actually, this first batch that is just off Avon Point is not all that significant, but certainly could well, the game doesn't start until about 8:30. Here's Brandon Kinky. Come on, Brandon, the head groundskeeper. So that first batch, Brandon, doesn't look all that important, but we're going to get wet. It's the other ones up there in lower Michigan, those red and yellow jobs that could give us a problem later. Now, how much rain can the field take in an hour and be playable?
13 inches.
That's up from 12 earlier. You're improving it all the time.
Yeah, exactly.
Okay, well, there's a pretty good chance we'll get it in, but there is a weather factor there, and we'll keep you updated. Good luck, Brandon.
Okay, and we'll keep our fingers crossed, Dick.
I don't know if they've ever called an All-Star game because of rain, but I don't want this to be the first one, Dick.
They did call a game once. I think it was in Chicago. They also had one shortened by about, they called it after 4.5 innings, but it will be quite rare. This is the 5th game here. This is the 60th annual.
Right.
Cleveland now has had more than any other city, and the other 4 all went on without a rain problem or weather problem, and let us hope that that's going to be number 5 tonight. We'll cross our fingers.
He's a walking All-Star history book.
We got our fingers crossed about the weather. Thank you, Dick.
Thanks, Dick. Well, there's plenty more to come on Fox 8 All-Star pregame show.
That's for sure. Just a little bit later, we're going to be joined by Golden Glove shortstop Omar Vizquel of the Cleveland Indians. He'll stop by to give us his insight on tonight's game.
That's right, and we'll also profile the Indians who made this year's American League All-Star team.
But first, a quick look back at when Cleveland hosted the 1954 All-Star game.
Fox 8 pregame is brought to you by your Northern Ohio Toyota dealers, Mark's, Wendy's, and Medical Mutual.
Thank you very much for joining us tonight.
That's right. Fans are arriving early for the game, and it's going to start about 25 after 8. But, of course, fans are here already. They're trying to savor the moment. And we've got all the bases covered, both inside and outside of the Jacobs Field here. And our reporters, Bill Martin and Lou Maglio, join us. How you guys doing?
Wonderful, as always.
What you got going, Lou?
I got some cool fans. Want to talk to our fans right now? Why don't we? All right.
Absolutely.
Here's our fans. A great family. This is from the Mentor area, and a wonderful young man, even though he's wearing an Atlanta Braves cap, which we'll explain in a minute. This is Brian Golden. Brian, unfurl that banner you got, and tell me what it says.
I love Griffey, Lofton, cross out Albert Bell.
But not Albert Bell, but he is smart enough to put Fox 8 here on the edge. And I predict, Brian, you will be on national television tonight. How do you feel about that? All right, this is his uncle over here. He mentioned Albert Bell. What do you think? What do you think the fans in Cleveland should do when Albert's on the field tonight?
I think they'll definitely boo him.
Do you think they should definitely boo him?
It may look bad, but I think they still will.
Some fans, let's face it, just can't resist the booing of Albert Bell. Now we're going to go way over there with a guy who's from another part of the world, really. He is from, guess where this guy is from? His name is Eddie Hayes. New York. New York. He's from New York. What do you think? You guys are famous for the Bronx cheer. What do you think we should do about Albert Bell?
Oh, I think the fans and the players have to, we got to just be here for a great baseball game, and let's just have fun. Fans have the right to boo, and they have the right to cheer, and let's just have a great time.
They got the right to cheer. I couldn't have said it better myself. Hey, listen, we Clevelanders and New Yorkers battle all the time over sports. What do you say, at least for tonight, we hug and make up?
Oh, absolutely. Beautiful city.
A New Yorker and a really, really good guy, Eddie. Thank you. All right, guys. Back to you. That's the story from outside.
Hey, Louie, how are you? We're on right now. Nice to see you. It's noisy down here. Hey, you. It's time to do something. Say hi to Leanne Rhymes right here.
Hi.
Hi, Leanne. How are you?
I'm doing good.
You're going to sing the national anthem here? Are you nervous, or how do you feel about it?
I'm not nervous at all. I'm just excited. This is, I've watched the All-Stars game for a long time. I'm a huge baseball fan, so coming out here and getting to sing at it, it's a lot of fun.
Can we show your toes off before we go?
Sure.
Okay. Some All-Star toes. Are the colors significant?
No, they're just happy toes is what we call them in Texas.
Happy toes in Texas. All right, we'll let you go and get ready. You want to sing something before you go?
Sure.
Okay, do anything you want.
Okay. Blue, oh, so lonesome for you.
Yeah. Oh, beautiful. Thank you, dear. Good to see you. Oh, please applause. Yeah, thank you very much. Okay, we'll see you go. All right, you want to run to the crowd quickly here? All right. Hi, how are you? Nice to see you. Are you working? Oh, get out of here. Get out of the way. We don't want you. We don't need you right now. There you go. You guys all excited about this?
Yeah, we really are. It's great to be here.
Hey, how's everybody doing? All right? Yeah, American League. All right. Everybody is excited down here. They got the best seats in the house. This guy has season's tickets here and got them for the All-Star game, so he's very happy. There you go.
You know, Bill, I talked to one guy, and right before we came up here to the Lodge, and he had a ticket, and it had an $80 price tag on it.
Wow.
It choked me.
That's right. Leanne gets in free, too. She's being catered to.
Is there any truth to the rumor that you guys are going to do a duet as far as singing the national anthem?
Me and Leanne?
Yeah.
Sure, we could work that out.
Absolutely. Bill, we want to see your happy toes before the show is up.
I think she liked me.
All right, thank you very much, Bill. Here's a question. Is it all fun and games, or do the players, all-star players, actually get butterflies before a game like this?
To have butterflies.
Yeah.
So we're going to get the insight when we come back about how these players really feel when they're out here on the field.
But first, a look back at Indian All-Stars from the year 1952. Following the story of that ball and bat, and we are absolutely thrilled by the aerial shots we're getting from the Goodyear blimp, the Spirit of America. Welcome back to the show, everyone, our Fox 8 All-Star pregame special.
That's right, and of course it is the stars that make up the All-Star game. I mean, you ever wonder if these guys are just ready to go, or are they nervous, and what's going through their minds? We want to know.
You would think that being All-Stars, they wouldn't be nervous, but I tell you what, there's one guy who can answer that question because he's hanging out with the National League All-Stars down by the visitors' dugout. I'm talking about my good friend Mark Schrader. Mark, what's happening?
Wayne, there is no way in the world a guy like Barry Larkin would ever be nervous in this type of situation. This guy is like nails. He's been through everything, World Series, All-Star games. To Barry Larkin, this has got to be just a little bit of fun. But unfortunately, Barry, you're not playing because of an injury that happened just outside first base right here against the Indians.
Kind of bittersweet coming back up here. You know, I love the place up here. I was really enthusiastic about playing up here, but unfortunately, I think I was a little too enthusiastic. I had an Achilles problem all year and went around first base and kind of slipped and tore my calf. So I'm back up here, and I'm happy to be here, but I'm sad about not playing.
The American League has a lot of power. I know you probably got a chance to see Mark McGwire bang a couple off the scoreboard already in batting practice, but you guys aren't too shabby either. Tell us a little bit about the advantages the National League has tonight.
Well, you know, I think the National League, the advantage, especially with interleague play, playing these guys, I know the advantage is speed. You know, we've got a lot of guys that can run. we've got some guys in the middle of the lineup that can hit the ball for power too. So I think it's that combination that hopefully we will exploit today, and we'll come out victorious.
Do you guys still take this game seriously, Barry?
I just talked to the president of the National League, Lynn Coleman, and he told me, you know how I like these wins. Unfortunately, you can't get out there, but you know how I like to win these games. And he had Bill Russell behind him when he was saying that. So I was like, yeah, okay. You don't need to bring your beef to make that point with me. But we definitely want to come out here and win. Have a good time, but win.
We were talking off camera a little bit about the differences between the old stadium and here, and you had the opportunity to play at the old stadium, Barry. Tell the Cleveland fans what it was like to be there and right here today.
Well, I played in the old stadium, and it was during the Olympic Games, and there were, I didn't count them, but I'd say about 800, 900 people there in a 70,000-seat stadium, and it was kind of not a very warm feeling. I came here like just 2 weeks ago and saw this place. I heard everything about it. They're talking about getting a stadium down in Cincinnati, and they're trying to model it after this place up here. But, I heard about this place, but really didn't get a feel for it until I came up here and saw all the fans out here. And, it was rocking. We had an hour-and-a-half rain delay, and the stadium was still packed. So it was tremendous. And, like I said, I'm glad to be back out here.
Well, it's great to also have the opportunity to have the Reds back up here because there still are some Red fans up north. So it's a great rivalry. I'm glad it continues now with interleague play.
Yeah, that's a wonderful thing. I think interleague play has done a lot for baseball. I think baseball really needed a shot in the arm after the strike. And, I think this is the ticket.
Barry Larkin, thanks a lot. I wish you were playing tonight, buddy, but hey, we'll catch you again in about 30 years when we get it back here again. Barry, thanks a lot. Appreciate it, okay? Best of luck. Thanks a lot. And now, Wayne Dutton and Stephanie, let's send it back up to you.
All right, thanks, Mark. That's exciting. Well, our Cleveland Indians are definitely well represented in the All-Star game here in Cleveland.
That's for sure. Even with the injury to David Justice, Jim Thome, the Tominator, is here to take his place. That story when we come back.
That's right. And back in 1973, Buddy Bell was our Indian All-Star. Fans are heading into the Field of Dreams down in the flats to get the best seat outside the ballpark for the big game, and you're looking at a live picture right now of the ball field itself.
I'm concerned about that ball. The ball is taking a beating so far.
This will progress, and we'll have a big finale at the end of the show.
Well, I can't wait because I just don't like the way he's being treated. When the American leaguers take the field tonight, the Cleveland Indians will be well represented. They'll be represented in the infield, behind the plate, as well as in the dugout.
That's right. And Fox 8 News reporter Mike DePasquale has this year's honor roll. This is the Indians class, All-Star class of 1997.
It's picture day at Jacobs Field. That's if you're an Indians All-Star for the 97 American League squad. Finishing fourth overall in the fans voting, Tribe left fielder David Justice. This two-time National League All-Star now awaits his third trip to the Midsummer Classic. But an injured elbow will keep Justice from making his first trip as an American League All-Star. Replacing Justice on the roster, Indians teammate Jim Thome. The Tribe slugger makes his first All-Star appearance. Thome's on a tear, hitting just below 300 with 24 home runs and 62 RBIs at the midway point of the season. Thome appears to be the natural choice after finishing second in the voting at first base. The hottest hitter in the major leagues is a fan favorite on Tuesday. This is Sandy Alamar's fourth trip to baseball's gala event.
I don't consider it a personal honor. I think it's that the whole town is involved in it. A lot of people voted for me. I know I didn't get elected by the fans, but I want to thank every single body that voted, and they all included because they're part of it.
It's you, the fan, who decides who will start in the Midsummer Classic. But this year, the Indians have an inside track on who the trainer will be and one of the coaches.
The city hosting the All-Star game means that team's trainer makes the squad. This will be Jimmy Warfield's second All-Star game. His last trip was in 1981 when Cleveland last hosted the event.
Well, I know a lot of the players, and what we do, we send notes out to the opposing trainers and get a little feedback on their players so we know exactly what they need when they walk into the clubhouse.
From the clubhouse to the dugout to the playing field, Indians manager Mike Hargrove assumes a new role on Tuesday. He'll coach the bases.
Probably the most fun for me in the last 2 or 3 of them I've been to is being able to see guys like Frank Thomas and Eddie Murray and Cal Ripken and people like that without their game face on.
So come Tuesday, they'll play ball with the twist of Cleveland's All-Star connection. Mike DePasquale, Fox 8 News, Cleveland.
Now, Mike tells us the record for number of Indians on one All-Star team is 7, and that was back in 1952. Now, just 2 years ago, the tribe sent 6 players to the All-Star game. 4 of those are no longer with us. Bell, Lofton, Martinez, and Baerga. But that's okay. We're still pretty strong.
We're still an all-star team, and this is an all-star city. And our all-star sports anchor, John Tulledge, is down by the American League dugout, which happens to be the Cleveland Indians dugout, and he has an interview with a player. Who's that with you, John?
I think he's a guy who's become very quickly a very popular Cleveland Indian. It's David Justice, voted into the All-Star team for the American League. Congratulations on that, David. This has been a wild experience for you. An emotional side, they tell you you're really not ready to play yet. You wanted to play, but at least you're hanging out, having a good time.
Right. I really wanted to play because I had a signing a few days ago, and all the fans were asking me if I was going to play, and they really wanted to see me play. So I told everyone I'm going to try to play, but then the Indians thought it'd be best for me to take those few days to rest. And it's great, though, because by me sitting down, Jim Thome is now able to play, and he's a deserving All-Star, so I'm really happy for him.
Jim Thome earlier on our 5 o'clock show recited green eggs and ham, and we may ask David Justice to do the same here on this special. But nonetheless, the All-Star experience now, number 2 for you, I believe, as a Brave. Number 3, I apologize. The 3rd time for you as a major leaguer. With the Braves, the experience was one where that was really like America's team, and now you're with the Indians, and they're almost superseded the Braves in that regard.
Well, yeah, I mean, everyone, I think, is really starting to take notice to what's going on in Cleveland. With the fan support that we get, as well as just the electricity. I mean, if you're out here at the ballpark right now, there's so much electricity in the air. Everybody's excited about tonight's game, and it's like this every night playing here. So it's a great place to play, and I'm just happy I'm here.
How was it getting reacquainted with guys like Chipper and Jeff Blauser, some of the Braves?
It was great. I mean, I was really happy to see all of them because you got to understand, I've been with those guys for a long time, and so I was really happy to see them. I mean, Chipper jumped in my arms like he was my son, and, it made me feel good, that they were happy to see me as well.
I don't know if the Indians management wanted to see anybody jump in your arms. They'll probably say, take it easy on that elbow, David.
Yeah, but, Chipper's a lightweight, so I was able to handle him.
All right, David Justice, All-Star for the 3rd time. Congratulations, voted in by the American League fans.
Okay, thank you.
All right, David Justice, appreciate it very much. He is live right here at the third base dugout, and I think we'll send it upstairs to see what's going on. No, we're not going upstairs. We're going to talk to, we're going to set it upstairs. Omar and the gang. Let's go to him.
All right, thank you, JT. With me now is another familiar face, a member of the Cleveland Indians, a man who should be on the All-Star team. He's a Gold Glove shortstop, Omar Vizquel. Omar, first of all, where'd you get the vest?
I don't remember, man. I think it was like in Kmart or something like that.
What size is it? Like, is it a 40?
I'll give it to you after the show.
All right.
Now, Omar was decorating our set just a moment ago. What is this?
Yeah, we got a little decoration.
Thank you.
It's a view of the Cleveland background behind the scoreboard. I think it looks really neat.
Thank you. Well, now listen, you played in a World Series. What's the excitement like compared to what's going on now?
Oh, this is not exciting at all. I'm really bored. I see too many cameras, people taking pictures all over. They don't let the players do anything. It's kind of bored. I told Joe Torre, hey, Joe, I want to relax. I want to do some TV stuff, so leave me alone.
Do you like doing this, Omar?
It's kind of fun. I mean, it's different atmosphere. Sometimes you wonder what's going on behind the cameras, when you're in the locker room and you're watching the game. I think it's something that all the ball players have to try to see what you guys talk about us.
But you're good at it.
Right. You are good.
You are very good at it. Let's talk about what you do for a living. Playing shortstop. Let's talk about the 2 guys who are out there tonight as All-Stars. The first one, Alex Rodriguez of the Seattle Mariners. What type of performer is he in your mind? I know he's not as good as you, but besides that.
The guy got great talent. I mean, he can be one of the greatest in the game. He got good range, good arm. He's a strong guy. He can hit 300 easily. And, he's one of the best in the game right now. I mean, there is no doubt about it. And here we see him hitting a home run in the center field. That's not easy to do for a shortstop.
How about Atlanta's Jeff Blauser?
Well, Jeff Blauser has been struggling the last couple of years, but this year he's back on trail. I think he's having a tremendous year. He's hitting the ball all over the field. Hitting well over the 300. Right now he's helping the defense. You can see a double play of Greg Maddox pitching, and he's just playing really good baseball, and I think that's why he's there.
I want you to know that I did vote for you more than once.
Well, people don't realize that in Venezuela, that's where I'm from, is the second country that vote for, it got most votes for players in the United States. It's the second best voting country besides the United States. So I wonder why I get so many votes. All my cousins and people from my neighborhood voting for me.
Well, the reason why you're not doing that is because we wanted you too bad to be with us.
Thank you, Wayne.
We want you to be with us. Thanks so much.
All right, guys.
Still to come on our Fox 8 All-Star pregame special tonight.
Well, we're going to go live to Field of Dreams. That's where Fox 8 News reporter Kathy Cronenberger is, with lots and lots of fans. That's down in the Flash.
Plus, we'll look back at the remarkable and groundbreaking career of former Indian Larry Doby.
And the year was 1976 when David LaRoche was an Indian All-Star. We'll be right back.
Poor ball. I tell you what, once again, it's a beautiful picture we just saw from the Spirit of Akron. He's providing our aerials tonight, but I tell you, I'm worried about the ball stuff.
You were concerned.
I'm concerned.
I think he's going to be okay.
Okay. You know something I don't know, probably.
Every All-Star game, you know, is so exciting and so special, but this year is probably extra special because of a man, a Cleveland Indian, who was just dazzling fans some 50 years ago.
You're exactly right. We're talking about Larry Doby, and he is being held tonight for his courage as a true trailblazer. In 1947, he was the first African-American to play in the American League. But as Fox 8 sports reporter Dan Coughlin tells us tonight, Doby was well prepared for the hard work ahead of him. While growing up in the town of Black Bottom, South Carolina, Doby's grandmother gave him the religious training that would guide the rest of his life.
The home run hitting pioneer's character was molded by his devoutly religious grandmother, who gave him strength that he relied on later in life.
To have that belief sort of ease some of the problems, sort of ease some of the lonely nights and some of the things that happened. There was a real dampness in that clubhouse, being ignored by players, being sort of put into the corner, in the locker in the corner.
Providence intervened, however. Indian slugging second baseman Joe Gordon, shown here crossing home plate after hitting a home run, befriended him the first day he joined the club.
When I got dressed and went out on the ball field to warm up, I stood there for maybe 5 or 10 minutes. Nobody, seemed to want to warm up with me. So he came over and started warming up with me. So the rest of that 47 year, he and I warmed up together. Sort of welcomed me, and he did. He was sincere. He was a good person.
Away from the ballpark, though, things were different. Doby's teammates went out to dinner in groups. Doby ate alone. Sometimes Doby did not even stay at the same hotel.
That was a little hard to adjust to. I mean, you can look at 4 walls, and the thing that made it a little bit easier, if you want to say it was easier, was I was told by Bill Beck, these are the kind of things that's going to happen.
Indians owner Bill Beck remains almost a godlike figure to Doby.
Was one of the greatest human beings that I've ever met, that had passion for people, had feeling for people, wanted to give opportunity to people.
Doby enjoyed tremendous success. He was the Indians' Man of the Year in 1950. In a 13-year career, he hit 253 home runs. He was the American League Home Run King twice and led the league in runs batted in once. He drove in more than 100 runs 5 times. But overcoming loneliness was just as big an accomplishment. Satchel Paige, the star pitcher of the Negro National League, joined the Indians the following year, 1948, and Doby had a roommate.
Well, number one, I never saw much of Satch. I saw a suitcase about here.
Doby played until 1959 and matured into his own man. Now 72 years old, he lives in Paterson, New Jersey, and works for the Office of the Commissioner of Baseball. Dan Coughlin, Fox 8, with the all-time All-Stars in Cleveland.
Larry Doby, he was indeed a great one. Now, here's an interesting fact that Danny wanted me to pass along to you tonight. Before he purchased the Indians in 1946, Bill Veeck actually attempted to buy the Philadelphia Phillies. As always, Bill Veeck had something up his sleeve. He intended to release all of the Phillies players and replace them with an all-black team from the National Negro League. Now, after learning about his plans, you can imagine what the other owners thought. They turned down his bid to buy the Philadelphia Phillies.
He is a true legend. So you didn't get a ticket for the All-Star game. Well, you're certainly not alone. And you know there's only one place to watch the game, and of course that's at home on your TV, where it's tuned right now to Fox 8. But if you don't want to sit home alone, there's also another option. It's called the Fox 8 Field of Dreams, and it's down in the flats at Nautica. And that's where Kathy Cronenberger is. And Kathy, it looks like you're not alone. There are a lot of people down there, huh?
We got a lot of people here. And hey, people, where's the one place you want to be right now rather than any other place in the whole wide world? You hear that? The Field of Dreams, and we still got some seats left for you. 5 buckaroonies. Get you in here. Woo! Party Central. In fact, this lovely family has decided to have their dinner here. A little pepperoni pizza. How is it?
Good, good.
Are you excited about tonight's game?
For sure.
Yeah?
First one in.
First one in, front row seat, right in the middle. I can't promise that to you, but I can promise you, come on down, you can get in. If you think this is rain, it's not. Someone's spitting from the back row. It's not rain. Not rain. And the beauty is, there's a chance to win hard, cold cash. Isn't that right? Hard, cold cash. $25,000 if you fill out this little form, and it says runs, hits, and errors. If you can pick them for the American League and the National League and get it right, you walk away with $25,000. Not a bad investment. Also, they're going to be, save your ticket stubs, right? Where are they, people? Ticket stubs. They're going to call a number every other inning. And that lucky person, there they are, will get to come up here and throw a ball into that target down there for $105,000. A lot of fun down here, still tickets left. Please come on down to watch the game on the big screen.
Gosh, they look like they're having more fun down there than we are here.
That's because they didn't pay to get in there.
That's true.
They paid big money to get into this stadium.
Kathy,
let's get out here, man.
Kathy, there's no one in the world that can get these guys so excited as Kathy Cronenberger. She's just, she's looking at her. Now, she would fit perfectly for this job.
Yes, for sure. Believe it or not, we are less than an hour away from the start of the 68th Major League Baseball All-Star Game.
That's right, but there's lots more ahead coming up on Fox 8 News and our All-Star Baseball League pregame special, but we still have a ways to go. Now listen, when we come back, we'll go back down to the field with John and Mark.
And do you remember a guy by the name of Sid Manji? A look back to the 1979 All-Star Game. Don't go away.
You're looking at a live picture. That's the blimp, the Spirit of Akron, flying over Jacobs Field, downtown Cleveland, looking over this beautiful, beautiful stadium. And if we can get a shot of the stadium, I don't know if that's possible, get a shot of the field. Not good news, huh,
Not
Wayne?
good news at all. We just talked to Dick Godard, and he says that they are beginning to prepare to put the tarp on in anticipation of rain, but let's hope that Mother Nature holds off at least until about 12 o'clock tonight so we can get this game in. Just a reminder, though, you can throw your remote control, just kind of throw it to the side and keep it tuned right here to Fox 8 tonight. When we're done, Fox Sports will start its game coverage at 8 o'clock. The player introductions will begin at 8 minutes after 8, and yes, we do like all those 8s. The American and Canadian anthems will be played at 8:20 tonight. Larry Doby will toss out the ceremonial first pitch at 8:24. And then the ump yells play ball for the 68th All-Star Game at 8:29.
8:29.
That's right.
8:28.
Should have been 8:20. Well, we'll kind of push it up a little bit. But we got to just kind of keep our fingers crossed that the rain holds off.
That's right. You know, Mark and JT are down on the field right now. Maybe they've got some insight into what's going on with them putting this tarp
Guys,
on.
who have you been talking to since last week talk?
I got the guy.
Oh, you do, huh?
I have the man with the answers, John. I have the man.
Ah.
The manager of the National League, Bobby Cox from the Atlanta Braves. Bobby, tell us a little bit about what happens in the pre-game talk. I mean, how do you get these guys pumped up for this game?
Well, really, Mark, you don't have to say too much. You talk about the importance of the game, you know, league versus league, and both leagues have a lot of pride, and you want to win the ball game. These guys are great competitors, and we had our meeting yesterday and kind of leave them free this afternoon to do what they want. But my experiences are there's a lot of spirit in this game, and really want to win it.
Well, we got the National League with 3 in a row right now, so things look pretty good.
I hope so.
Now, Joe Torre took a little bit of heat for taking his own man. We ended up taking Paul O'Neill over Jim Thome at one point. He did get Jim Thome back onto the All-Star roster. Bobby, you have 6 men from your team. Did you take any heat at all for doing something like that?
Well, it's hard to say because I don't listen to the radio and I don't read the papers much.
Smart
but
man, smart
you know,
guy.
all of our guys finished second in the voting, and those 3 pitchers that are on this club from the Braves all deserve to be here most definitely. And you know, you can make a case for them. There's a couple guys I left off that I feel bad. Wagner and Bronco from the Mets and Alan Bennis from the Cardinals. Those are all great guys, but you know, only 28.
Is it the toughest situation that you have to do to pick like that? I'm sure you're going to end up getting people mad at you.
Well, you make some guys happy. That's the way I look at it. You know, because everybody hates the manager in other cities, so that's the way it goes.
Well, we're going to welcome you back, Bobby, even though the last time you were here, you took the World Series trophy from us.
Experiences here. You guys had a great team, still do.
Bobby, thanks. Appreciate it. So let's go over to JT. John Telich on the third base side. Who do you have for the American League?
We have a young guy who is on the verge, if you will.
Okay, we're going to go.
They're going upstairs.
In just a moment, because we've got more.
Now they're coming back down to me. Let's go to Jose Rosado of that gang called the Royals in Kansas City. First time for you as an all-star, and I know you've had some interesting scenarios in terms of pitching against the Cleveland Indians earlier this year as well. But what about the first time and all the hoopla and all the fans and the autographs? What's this been like for you?
This is incredible for me. This is like a dream come true me, and something special, you know. That's all I can say about it. And I mean, it's fun to be here, and like I always say, you know, I just try to go outside to the field and try my best, and I know something's good is gonna happen. So I guess this is my gift right here, and I hope I just keep I hope I keep doing good and work hard. That's the only thing that I can do, and see what happens.
When you were in the American League clubhouse, which the big hitters that you were nervous about facing in a regular season game did you kind of try to be friendly with so they go easy on their second half?
No, I mean, there's nothing that I can do about it, you know. I just need to keep throwing stride, and yeah, also I got Jim Thome from the Cleveland Indians.
All right.
I mean, I try to shake his hand and say slow down on me, but it's fun, you know. It's fun, it's real friendly, everybody get together, and it's something special to be around those guys in the clubhouse, and like Cal Ripken Jr.
Right.
Guy like Hall of Fame like that. It's really special for me, and I hope this was not the only one to me.
Absolutely. One for Jose Rosado. Let's hope there's many, many more for the outstanding young pitcher of the Kansas City Royals. Let's go upstairs to Dick Goddard, to Wayne, and to Stephanie.
All right, thanks, JT.
Dick, what's happening? Doesn't look good.
This is not unexpected, the first rain. If we could go to Radak, and I hope we can, because that'll really tell the story. So we're seeing, first of all, this little batch that is over the CLE now. So this is not the problem. The problem is going to come later. There are some very heavy thunder cells, as you see, out of Lake St. Clair, Michigan, and just to the south of Detroit and over northwest Ohio. So the whole movement is going to be on to the east. But again, this first batch will not really do a whole lot to impede the progress of the game, I don't believe. It is the other thunder cells coming in later on, and we'll keep you apprised. But I got a hunch the game will, wow, it doesn't start though for another, 40 minutes?
It's going to be a long night, I think.
Could they start it now?
Please, let's get going. There are lots of umbrellas out here. Not a good sign.
Not a good sign, but let's hope that a miracle happens and the rain holds off.
That's right.
If they play 4.5 innings, it'll be a ball game. But one game, actually, they did, I think, play about 5 innings, and they had to call it off. But we'll cross our fingers.
Okay. We'll be back with more of our Fox 8 All-Star pregame coverage tonight.
That's right. We're going to take a very wild and exciting ride. 67 years of All-Star history up next. It's great. You got to see it.
But first, the all-time Indian leaders in All-Star game appearances. We're almost ready for the game. We're about 30 minutes or so away. But the question is, Will tonight's game be exciting? I guess we won't know that until they throw out the first pitch.
Well, of course, this is the 68th year, and if the 67 years in the past are any indication, this one is going to be great fun as the stars of the National League and the American League take the field here to thrill the crowd as they always have. Gosh, I tell you. Well, thank you for being with us for the Fox 8 pregame all-star pregame special and the coverage and all that.
Do not go away because we are just minutes away from the main event. Thank you very much for joining us. And go American League!
Good night, everybody.